Across the globe, otherwise distinct cultures have celebrated the return of sunlight after the longest night of the year, the winter solstice. The log-burning observance of Yule in Scandinavia and the feasts and gift-giving of Saturnalia in ancient Rome are historically tied to the trappings of modern-day Christmas, while in the southern hemisphere, thousands of Incas would gather to mark the June winter solstice during Inti Raymi festivals that included animal and human sacrifice. In modern-day China, Dongji, winter arrives, is celebrated with traditional foods and family gatherings, and the Native American Zuni and Hopi tribes of New Mexico and Arizona mark the with calls of rejoice and dancing. These multifaceted celebrations would make the winter solstice one of the most observed holidays in the history of the world. As a webpage explaining the Druid observation of the reads, it is significant that many civilizations welcomed their solar gods at the time of greatest darkness. Q. Do you feel a sense of spiritual renewal as the Earth begins its return around the Sun, or is the winter solstice just another day of the year? Often for me it is just another day of the year because I forget to confuse the date, not that I could stay awake far into the longest night anyway. I have no Druid DNA apparently. Our question lists just a few of the numerous spiritual and religious traditions that incorporate the celebratory winter solstice, light in the darkness, theme into their worship at this time of the year. To me, the long winter nights to bring a welcome period of rest and renewal. Even in today's Scrooge-like work environment, most workers get a day or two off around the time of the solstice. Better than a frenzy of shopping and events, the gift of our presents to loved ones is the best way to celebrate the Roberta Medford Atheist Montrose. I don't feel a specific sense of spiritual renewal at the winter solstice beyond the spiritual renewal of seeing the newly rising sun in the morning or the moon in all its shapes at night. I am reminded that these are all manifestations of God's creations, natural and miraculous. At this time of the year I cannot but remember that Christmas and Hanukkah, the 25th of December and 25th of Kislev, respectively, are always in close proximity to the solstice. Both have a light component to them. The Hanukkah menorah and the evergreen tree represent light out of darkness, one God's miracle of the oil and one the brilliance of natural life in the midst of the darkness of winter. May our souls find enlightenment and renewal in the days and weeks to come. Happy holidays, Rabbi Mark Sobel, Temple Beth Emet, Burbank. Most people in our culture probably didn't even know that the significance of the winter solstice was that it marks the shortest day and the longest night of the year. Big deal, I think, would be most of our reactions, but when you gauge your survival on the crops and migrations of animals, and you think there are spirits manipulating the climate and movement of stars, one can appreciate why the ancients made much ado of it. What else did they have? So this where Christianity comes in. With the coming of Christ and the salvation of mankind, the message of God went forth to the myriad cultures that were sacrificing children to their gods, were praying to the elements and invoking celestial bodies, and gave them the truth. To offset the loss of pagan celebrations that were embedded in most cultures, the Church declared a holy day, a holiday, for late December or around the solstice. This immovable day would commemorate the birth of Christ, the actual date of which nobody knows. Perhaps it's divinely fortuitous that the Bible didn't record it, because then it could be calendared on a date of greatest spiritual need worldwide. And as cultures would embrace the gospel message, the Church would embrace the most beloved cultural festivities and baptize them. That is, whenever some tradition wasn't patently sinful, it could be co-opted, reinterpreted, and included for Christmas, especially when such things could directly point to the true God of the universe. The Bible not only records the birth of Jesus, but Scripture is understood to refer to him as the Son of Righteousness. That fits perfectly with the rebirth of the Son, and God being metaphorically referred to by that term. Jesus said, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness." Joe 812 NIV. And so Christmas is celebrated by festooning everything with light. The solstice is just another day, like sunrise, and everything in nature. But Christmas is about the creator of all these, coming to us personally. How sad that the world still flounders in pagan darkness, still needy, still not knowing the child born in a manger. Let's make him known, especially during this time. Merry Christmas, Rev. Brian A. Green Chujunga.